In this video, we're learning how to evaluate fractional exponents. And if you look at the top of the screen, we have this rule that we can use when evaluating fractional exponents. So I'm going to show you guys how to solve these problems using the rule up top and then a different method in case you are not fully understanding the rule up top or if it doesn't intuitively make sense to you. So let's jump into example 1, which is 4 raised to the 3 over 2. So this rule at the top tells us that if we want to change this into a root, our denominator is going to be the little number inside our root. So I'm going to put a 2 here. And then our numerator is going to be the exponent. It's going to stay as the exponent. So we're going to have the square root of 4 to the third. And we can really think about this as the square root of 4 raised to the third power. So it doesn't actually matter if you evaluate the square root first or cube the 4 first. But because we don't have a calculator, it's going to make more sense to take the square root of 4 first. So now what we're going to do is take the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. So really we're going to have 2 to the third power. And we know that raising something to the third just means multiplying it by itself 3 times. So 2 to the third is the same as 2 times 2 times 2, which is equal to 8. So we get that 4 to the 3/2 is equal to 8. And now I'm going to show you guys a different method for solving it in case that one doesn't fully make sense. So let's rewrite our problem. We have 4 to the 3/2. And what we could do here is break this up into 4 to the half raised to the third power. Because we know that if we're raising a power to a power, we multiply those exponents. And a half times 3 is 3/2. So we can break up 4 to the 3/2 into 4 to the 1/2 raised to the third. And now you guys may know that raising something to the half is the same as just taking the square root. So this is really the square root of 4 to the third power, which looks similar to what we have up top. And we know the square root of 4 is 2, so this is 2 to the third, and we just found that 2 to the third is equal to 8. So either way you do it, you get 8 as your answer. Taking a look at example 2, we have 27 to the 2/3. So again, I'm going to do it in both ways. So let's start by using the formula up top. So we know that our denominator is going to be the little number in our root, so it's going to be here. So we have a cubed root of 27, and then our numerator is going to be our exponent. So 27 to the second power, and we can write this as the cube root of 27 raised to the second power. And now we're going to evaluate the cube root of 27. So we need to find a number that when cubed, or multiplied by itself 3 times, is equal to 27. So take a second and think about that. And we should get 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So now we have 3 squared, and 3 squared is just 3 times 3, which is going to give us 9. And now if we want to do it the other way, we have 27 to the 2/3. We could think about this as 27 to the 1/3, and then that entire quantity squared. Raising something to the third is the same as taking the cubed root, so we really have the cubed root of 27 squared, and now we have the same thing that we have up top. And we know the cube root of 27 is 3, so we really have 3 squared, and we know 3 squared is 9. Let's go through 2 more examples just to make sure we really got this down. So for these last 2 examples, I encourage you guys to pause the video and try them on your own, and then you can unpause the video and watch me work through them to make sure that you've solved them correctly. So example 3 is 32 raised to the 4/5. So let's start by rewriting this as a radical or a root. So our denominator of 5 will be the little number in our root, and the 4 will be our exponent. So we have the 5th root of 32 to the 4th, and then we can rewrite this as the 5th root of 32, all raised to the 4th power. And the 5th root of 32 is going to be some number when raised to the 5th that is equal to 32. And that's going to be 2, because 2 to the 5th is 32. So we have 2 to the 4th, and 2 to the 4th is just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to give us 16. And now if we want to do it the other way, we have 32 to the 4/5, which we can rewrite as 32 to the 1/5 raised to the 4th power, We know that raising something to the fifth is the same as taking the fifth root. So we have the fifth root of 32 raised to the fourth power. And we know the fifth root of 32 is just 2. So we have 2 to the fourth, which we just found, is equal to 16. And finally, taking a look at our last example, we have 81 to the 3/4. So if we want to rewrite this as a root, we're going to have the fourth root of 81 cubed. And we can write this as the fourth root of 81, and that entire thing raised to the third power. The fourth root of 81 means what number raised to the fourth is equal to 81, and that's going to be 3, because 3 to the fourth is 81. So now we have 3 cubed, which is 3 times 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 times 3 is going to give us 27. And just to show you guys how to do it the other way, we have 81 to the 3/4. We could write this as 81 to the 1/4 raised to the third power. Raising something to the fourth is the same as taking the fourth root. So we really have the fourth root of 81 raised to the third power. We already found out that the fourth root of 81 is equal to 3. So we have 3 to the third, and we found out that 3 to the third is equal to 27. So hopefully this video helped you guys understand how to evaluate fractional exponents. If you want some more practice with problems like these, check out the link in our description for a free practice worksheet.